New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at CuriosityStream.com.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Let's seek the truth and travel the long road to justice together. What you know, Alibis, it's early, 9:14, but I really wanted to kind of get in what we know so far about the missing 1.5-year-old from Savannah, Georgia. And I kind of think maybe we might hear something today. And I've been following this, but haven't had a chance yet. So let's just run through really quickly who's who in this case. We have Leilani, who is the 22-year-old mother of Quinton and his older brother, and apparently now a newborn that was born just weeks ago. Then we have Daniel Youngkin, who is the boyfriend of Leilani. Billy Joe, who is the grandmother of the boys and also has custody of them. Thomas Howell is Quinton's grandfather. It's actually Leilani's stepdad who was out of time at the disappearance, as well as the grandma, by the way. She was out of town working in Illinois. So we're going to kind of go back in this timeline to 2019. Quinton's older brother at some point in 2019, his name is Zane. He was born. He's around 3 years old now. And then February 2021, Quinton is born. In July of 2021, the grandmother, Billy Joe, is given custody of Quinton and his older brother. So not long after she gives birth. So in April of this year, Quinton's mom was sued by the Georgia Department of Human Services to pay child support for Quinton and his brother. Around the same time, a woman named Diana began babysitting Quinton and his 3-year-old brother. She also was babysitting the newborn as well. So at some point around the time that she gives birth, that Leilani gives birth, she moves in with her mother. And April 7th of 2022, so this is right around the same time where apparently she gives birth and moves in, cops are called to the house about an argument with Leilani and her mom. So Leilani said she was on probation and didn't want to get into trouble. And her brother, Leilani's brother, says she has a history of stealing things and using the money to buy drugs. September 8th, Billy Joe, the mother, files to have Leilani and her boyfriend, Daniel Youngkin, evicted. She said they've damaged her property and nobody in that house is living in peace. Police were dispatched twice to the home in the last 2 years, but nothing about the children as far as we can understand. The grandfather said of Leilani, "She's lied to us so many times, and I don't know. It's bad to say, but she just likes to lie." So at some point in September, Billy Joe, the grandma who has custody, leaves work for town on an assignment in Illinois that was supposed to last about 3 weeks. She was hoping to be back in town when Leilani and the boyfriend moved out. On September 16th, Leilani is served with that eviction notice. It's mailed by the sheriff's office. And then September 21st, Leilani did not attend a hearing about child support. So by default, she was ordered to pay $150 a month in child support, and that amount is adjusted for families of low income. So it's kind of your bottom line of what you pay. And those payments were to continue until one of the named children marries, dies, or emancipates. Those payments were set to begin on November 1st coming up. The order was actually signed the week before Quinton disappeared, and it was filed in court the actual day he went missing. Between September 26th to October 1st, we know they get that eviction notice. October 4th, the day before Quinton goes missing, the babysitter Diana watches Quinton and his brother until 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, and then she went home. So now we get to the day where he's reported missing. And at 5:29 a.m., the babysitter told WASV, "I got a text this morning saying they would not be here. I would not be babysitting them." She said it was kind of odd because she babysits the boys even when Leilani doesn't work. She told Gray Hughes Investigates that the text actually came from the mom's boyfriend. So Quinton is 1.5. You can see him right there on the right of the screen if you're on YouTube. He was last seen October 5th at 6 a.m. Her mom and the boyfriend last saw him in the playpen on Buckhalter Road in Savannah. He was also seen, her boyfriend saw Quinton as he was leaving for work. At the time, apparently, there were 3 kids in the home and her brother. Quinton was wearing a light blue Sesame Street shirt and black pants and was discovered missing 3 hours later at 9 a.m. Apparently, the mom went back to sleep. Police were dispatched at right before 9:30 a.m. to the home. The 911 call hasn't been released, but WJCL got a copy of it. And on the 911 call, Leilani says her 1-year-old son is missing. And the dispatcher is heard saying she woke up, her door was open, advised he's unable to open a door and thinks someone came in and took him. So we know Billy Joe, the grandma with custody, was out of town during the disappearance and she was traveling home. The babysitter called apparently, or was the one who informed her that Quinton was missing. When the babysitter went to the home to help assist in the search, apparently she was turned away. So Leilani allegedly told her stepdad that Quinton's biological dad had picked him up, which is a big discrepancy. His biological dad, by the way, not believed to be involved at all. He works way far north from where Quinton lives. So October 6th, the day after, this is day 2, Billy Joe arrives home after 3 a.m. in the morning, and she had to stay at a hotel. The same day, they had search warrants obtained for various locations, and the police chief says they're downloading contents of cell phones and things like that, which are going to be very telling. There's also searches around the neighborhood. They look through trash cans in a pond. And the grandmother tells the media on a telephone call, "I couldn't imagine she would hurt one of her kids, but I can't say the thought hasn't gone through my mind 100,000 times. Sometimes she does really great. Sometimes she doesn't. I don't know what to think right now. I don't know what to believe because I don't think anybody ever believes this is going to happen to them. I don't know if I can trust her or I don't. I just know I'm hurting and I want this baby home. He's my baby." Whether it's the answers we want to hear or answers we don't want to hear, we just want to know something. The grandpa says he's never seen Quinton open a door. He has seen the oldest child open a door, but 1.5, my kids could definitely make their way out of a playpen, but never open a door. So this case stinks, y'all. Just going to put it out there. So they've executed search warrants on the house. They've looked through the trash. They've looked in a nearby pond. Leilani and her boyfriend arrive back home. This is the day after being questioned by the police. And then, according to neighbors, Bobby Joe arrives home as well. Throughout that day, neighbors and WASV both report hearing arguments, very heated, just went on all day long. Sometimes it was going on in the backyard. And at one point, they were heard threatening each other. Quinton's biological dad also comes into town on the 6th to help search for his son. So at this point, more than 40 FBI agents are there assisting in the investigation, and it has turned from a missing child investigation to criminal. And so that's never a good sign. So WASV also posted some very heated exchanges between the babysitter and the grandma, and it was recorded by a family member. So according to Diana, Billy Joe barged into her house and started yelling at her because the babysitter had said something about setting up a memorial for Quinton. In the video, the grandma can be heard saying, "This is my baby, not yours. You're awful to say you're going to put up a memorial. My baby's not dead." The grandma said she shouldn't have went out of town, and the babysitter was like, "Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have went out of town." About the argument, the babysitter said she thinks that the family's trying to take the heat off of themselves. By the way, this is the home where he was last seen. And this is a photo of little Quinton, such a cute little dude, cute little face. I just hope there's a happy outcome, y'all. But when you haven't seen a 1.5-year-old for over a week. So the babysitter said that the Division of Family and Children Services had an open case involving Quinton and possibly his brother. Diana herself, the babysitter, has called before along with other neighbors. And a neighbor told WASV about the call to the Division of Family Services. He was running back and forth in front of the house, and I was afraid he was going to get hit. And the neighbor actually cried recalling this story. WASV reached out to the grandma, Billy Joe, for her side of the story, but they could not reach her. So on October 7th, a search warrant was issued for the family pool, and that pool was drained on the 10th and searched. And here's what's weird. After investigators drained the pool, Billy Joe put a Facebook post up asking for help to fix the pool. It says, "Do I have any friends that could help me fix the pool or that can guide me on doing the work myself?" She took that post down after, as you can imagine, the internet backlash was just vicious. So the FBI also on the 7th covers the windows with black plastic, which tells me they're probably doing a luminol spray in that house to see if there's any evidence of blood. So the Chatham County Police released a statement yesterday saying they've received evidence they believe will help move this case forward, and they're working to analyze the evidence to see where it leads us. We continue to pursue all avenues to bring Quinton home, following all leads and evidence. There will be no further statements today. So let's hope today we hear something. But my gut is they've seized evidence they believe will help move this case forward. We know that search has been essentially centered around that home, search warrants for phones, questioning with the mom and her boyfriend. So I think maybe they're on to something. We haven't had any kind of a release saying that they think in the initial days there was a question of whether this could have been an abduction, but it seems like now they're not going that route. So usually we cover this type of stuff all the time, and the last person that saw a child that young alive, we kind of know where it leads to, but we'll see. I mean, it's always possible that the door was open and he wandered out and something has happened. But anyways, if anything happens today, I will certainly hop on and let you know. In the meantime, I'm going to be covering Wagner all day. So tonight we'll have a recap of today's testimony. And if anything happens with baby Quinton, we'll bring it to you. All right. Just wanted to get this in. Hope you guys have a good morning and lunchtime, afternoon. We'll see you tonight.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing to keep the Grinch away from the toy drive.
Who's going to deliver the toys to the kids? What about me, the Grinch?
No.
Yep, even easier than that.
You steal the presents one time.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Capital One NA, member FDIC. Copyright Dr. Seuss Enterprises. Copyright Turner Entertainment Company.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.